Hello, is anybody here? Okay, I can't figure out if anybody has joined yet or not. It is 4 o'clock, which is the designated time to begin this session. So I'm going to start, hoping somebody is watching, hoping I will be able to see comments of those who are watching. It's a beautiful image of Ma Saraswati behind me right here. Okay, we'll begin. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vakratund Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru me Dev Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya. Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya. Om Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. So I can see 2 people have joined. Hello Sushila ji, good to see you here. So today, this beautiful period of Navaratras has begun. The entire universe is creating the right environment for us to be able to transform ourselves. The divine goddess, her Shakti, is available to us right here, right now, so that we may bring about the changes that we wish to in our lives. सुशीला जी, आप यहाँ पे आज आई हैं, थैंक यू. और this session is meant to be for English speaking people, and we will have a session at 7 p.m. on the Pyramid Light uh, Facebook page, which will be for Hindi speaking people as well. वो हिंदी में होगा. वो सेशन मैं रोज़ कर रही होंगी. आज इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे सिर्फ आज का सेशन मैं कर रही हूँ. And we will have various other manifested forms of the goddesses coming and sharing their understanding, taking people through the journey in a more beautiful way. So I hope those of you who have joined will continue to follow and take benefit of the understanding of many people who have dedicated themselves to sharing this knowledge and supporting each person's development, spiritual development. Not just spiritual, this is a period which one can use to fortify whichever aspect of our life that we want to. क्योंकि देवी देखिए क्या है, goddess is इच्छा शक्ति, ज्ञान शक्ति, क्रिया शक्ति, all three. The energy of desire is also goddess. The energy of knowledge is goddess. The energy of action is the goddess. So we can call upon the facet that we require in our lives and fortify our life with that. And the period is just right. What does it mean the period is just right? Anybody who's done gardening knows that there is a time. Anybody who's done farming knows that there is a time when you sow seeds. There's a time when the environment is supporting in a manner that you will get a better yield, that you will get a better फसल अच्छी होगी क्योंकि सही समय पे बीज डाला है. तो this is the period which is appropriate for sowing the seeds that we need to create transformation in ourselves. So how can we use this understanding? We can use it at multiple levels. We can use it at the emotional level of understanding the various feminine relationships that we have in our lives. And feminine relationships not of just women with women, but of how men also will look at women. It's very important in today's scenario when we get to know about and read about so many horrendous things that are happening. It is important that the awareness of the goddess being manifested as the various women around us, that understanding has to rise, has to awaken in everybody and deepen. It's very important. So, in fact, it's very interesting. My journey of understanding the Navratras better, since childhood I have been fasting during Navratras, but it was more because I love kuttu ka atta ki roti. It was as a child the excitement that there is a different flour that is used and alag tarah ki roti banti hai. That is what had gotten me interested in the beginning. And I used to always laugh. I used to say, this is a very nice fast. इसमें खाने के लिए कोई मनाही नहीं है. You can eat all day. So it was, my interest in Navratras as a child happened from there, from the joyous feasting that happens during this fasting. And then as one grew up, had a feminist perspective in life, found oneself having to fight at some places for your rights, found some places a lot of a lack of equality in the way people treated, and during those fights one discovered that this energy within which enables one to do the right thing, to stand up for oneself. As one grew older, one discovered that the energy is not just for fighting, it is there for nurturing, it is there for manifesting creativity. And that is when this understanding of Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti happened. That, oh my God, our scriptures have actually said that. If you go to the Lalita Sahasranam, it is in one of the shlokas, it says Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Swarupini. The Mother Goddess manifests in all these forms. If you look at the shlokas from the mantras from the Durga Saptashati. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. So, the understanding of the goddess as Shakti. Ya Devi Sarva Bhutesu Bhuteshu Karuna Rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. The goddess as compassion. That the goddess, that in everybody, the compassion that exists is the form of the goddess's own energy. That is the energy of the divine mother in each person. Where there is compassion, it is basically a representation of the goddess. So this is one understanding that happens. And then one day we were sitting with a few friends. We were sitting with a Aghori Baba, Kapali Baba that we had met at the Kumbh. And the feminist in me was complaining, saying, Baba, why is it that all fasting is done by women for men? Yeah, either they are doing the Karwa Chauth fast for their husbands, or they're doing the Hoi fast for the children. Why don't men ever fast for women? Why aren't they supposed to fast for women? Why isn't there anything in the scriptures for that? And he said, it is not true that it is not there. Navratras where are meant for men to fast for women. And then he explained how each and every Navratra is to fast for a certain relationship. So the first fast, the first Navratra, which is today, is for the Dharti Ma, for Mother Earth. Look at our ancients, how how the kind of clarity and holistic approach they had to life. That if you're fasting for the feminine relationships in your life, in these days of the divine feminine that lie ahead for us, the first day was for the Mother Earth. That you need to understand that the earth is a living entity. She's a mother. She's nurturing us. She's providing us her resources so that we can have a delightful life. How beautiful is that? And it is not that they did not give us rituals to support this understanding. They did. We have the ritual of Khetri Bijna. People bring soil in a container from their field or from their some part of their house, and then they put barley in it, and we wait, and it is kept at the altar in the puja room. So basically, a piece of earth is made sacred. It becomes part of something you worship and you nourish. You will water it every day. You will watch how that khetri grows. You will actually be feel happy when you see it grow. You will see the germination happening. The entire family sees how a seed becomes a plant. There is an understanding of life that is happening. Today is the day to have done that. Today, if anybody has been fasting, they have to know that they were fasting for the Mother Earth. They were fasting, and there is a promise they're making to her when they fast for her, that we shall take care of you, that you have taken care of us, we shall also take care of you. We shall not use the products that are polluting your rivers. We shall not pollute your rivers. We shall not mine excessively from the various resources that we have, so that you can be at peace. We shall take only as much as we require. We shall bring down our requirements so that we don't have to abuse the resources. That kind of a commitment we need to make to this Mother Earth, and that is how life ahead can be better. We have all learned this lesson, that if we do not value our resources, if we do not treat them well, what kind of backlash we can face. Haven't we all experienced that? So today is the day for fasting for Mother Earth. Today is also the day, the out of the Nav Durgas, the Mata Shailputri. That is the day. Shailputri is daughter of the mountains. We will discuss that in detail a few minutes later. I will just take you through What are the various relationships for each day? So first day is for Dharti Mata. Second Navratra is for the Dhaima. Dhaima is the midwife. Just imagine how important it is that the person doing the delivery of the baby has to be reliable, has to be skilled at their job, has to be compassionate, has to be able to respond to any kind of crisis. And did you know that when the baby is born and when the baby takes the breath, that moment has to be communicated just right to the parents, because entire astrology depends on the time when you first took your breath. And if somebody is, gets that wrong, you will not get the right kind of projections and predictions for your life if you actually believe in that. And look at this, the caretakers, the medical practitioners, they have always been revered in our culture. That is why there is a fast for the Dhaima, the second Navratra. The third Navratra is fasting for the Prasutima. Prasutima means the woman who takes care of the mother and child. There used to be this period when the mother and child used to be kept separately, and in our pseudo modern understanding, we were dismissive of those ways of the ancient people, saying, what is this? I don't believe in this. This is chua chut, untouchable, as if the mother is untouchable. It was not about untouchability. It was about protecting the mother and child from infections, because they're very fragile at that time. And there had to be a dedicated person to look after them, who understands the needs of the mother and child. A new mother may not even know how to nurse a baby unless somebody can guide her. Therefore, a woman who is trained in how to support a new mother is very important. We have the concept now of japa maids. What was that? It was the Prasuti Ma, right? She will massage the child. She will make sure that she gives right instructions to the mother. She is the one who would carry the food for the mother from the kitchen, so that, and she would let the cook know what needs to be cooked for the new mother. That is the Prasutima. That was the third day, the third Navratra. The fourth Navratra is to celebrate your own mother. Now, nothing needs to be said about this. Anybody, I mean, if you see all the people who receive awards, whether it's Grammys or whether it is the Oscars or whether it is a Filmfare Award or whether it is a Nobel Prize, everybody who's receiving the award is always thanking the mother. That there is no, absolutely no need to even uh, explain why one should have gratitude for one's mother, right? So that is the fourth Navratra, where you fast for your own mother. The fifth Navratra, the next relationship that a baby discovers, the feminine relationship a baby discovers, is if there is a sister in the family already. So, Dhartima, Dhaima, Prasutima, Apnima, Behen, the sister. The sixth Navratra is for the niece. We are talking about an era when there would be great possibility of nieces and aunts being the same age. I don't know if anybody remembers it from, has such instances in their own family, because I remember we've had Masi and the niece being the same age, because there have been instances where the mother and the daughter are simultaneously pregnant. So you could be born and you could already have a niece in the family, right, who's older than you. So the next Navratra is for the niece. And even if she's not older than you could have a sister who's marriageable age, and you could, by the time you grow up a little and you're 7, 8 years old, you have a niece. And you grow, you understand this love for a child the first time as either the mama or the masi. It's a great feeling, right? So that this Navratra is to celebrate the niece. Now, the next relationship, the feminine relationship that a man is likely to encounter, is one of his partner, the wife, right? So धरती माँ, धाई माँ, प्रसूति माँ, अपनी माँ, बहन, bhanji, and then wife. That is the seventh Navratra. After that, the eighth and the ninth Navratra are to celebrate the daughter and the granddaughter. And anybody who has done Navratras regularly knows that Kanjak on the Ashtami or the Navami is the culture or tradition in their family and they follow that, right? So basically, what is it? That if you have daughters and you've been fasting all these days, and on the day when you have to celebrate your relationship with the daughter, what do? You will cook her favorite dishes for her. And will you feed her alone? No, you will invite all her friends. Because a child, celebration for a child includes people. Birthday hai, log bula lo, right? क्लास में फर्स्ट आए, पार्टी पार्टी कर लो बच्चों के लिए, right? For children, celebration is about having their friends around them, right? So therefore there was this thing, it was not just that you feed your daughter, but you feed the children of the household help, you feed the children of the driver, feed the children of the friends in the neighborhood. So that is why the kanjaks are invited to each home, and their favorite food is cooked. Now, if we are caught in this, that favorite food, if we don't understand this, that favorite food of the child is cooked, and you try and force on the child something that the child does not like, is that a celebration at all? So, because I have had friends who have complained to me saying, my daughter doesn't like kanjak. Well, she doesn't like she doesn't like chole puri. Convert the meal into what she enjoys, because that is what the idea of kanjak is, to honor her presence in your life. So it has to be in the way she feels happy about it. There are some who say otherwise children eat all kind of stuff, why can't they eat halwa puri and chole on one day? Of course they can, if that is what you want to retain. But if you have not been doing it very often, I don't think the children will complain, because the children like variety in food. So if you don't make aloo halwa puri and chole very often at home, and you make it on that day, and you don't make it an ordeal for them. Sometimes parents will wake up children early morning and say, "Arey kanjak karni hai, jaldi utho aaj." Don't expect the child to be excited about it then, if you have not been able to motivate the child properly. If you have been able to, great. But if you haven't been able to, then find the ways and means. It should not feel like punishment to the little girls. It should feel like being honored. It should feel like a celebration, because that is what it is meant to be, celebrating the little girls in our lives. That is the 8th and the ninth Navratras. So this is the understanding of the 9 Navratras in terms of the emotional understanding of relationships, of developing and honoring the feminine relationships in our life. But there are various other aspects. And today is the day for the Navdurga Shailputri. So one of the understandings is that of the 9 days, 3 days are treated as the days of Mahakali, 3 days as the days of Mahalakshmi, and 3 days as the days of Mahasaraswati. So today is the first day of the Mahakali day. So why is this order important? Because we are trying to transform from within. So first, Mahakali has to come and bring about those changes and remove that negativity from inside us. So 3 days for Mahakali to remove the negativity from inside us. Then the next 3 days for Mahalakshmi to establish that positivity in us, right? Once that positivity is established in us, the next 3 days are for Mahasaraswati to give us the Gyan, because now we are centered. Now we have become capable of receiving that Gyan. And that is when Mahasaraswati days are, the final 3 days of our Mahasaraswati. So today, as I said to you, is the day of Ma Shailputri. Now, Ma Shailputri actually, she represents the qualities of faith and commitment in us. Faith and commitment. I shared this in the morning on Facebook, and somebody asked me, why is faith and commitment why is the first day about that? Why is it the foundation of these days? Because in case we have to go into this transformation process, We need to be committed, and we need to have faith in this transformation process. And we need to show our commitment in terms of being willing to fast, willing to change, address our bad habits, willing to inculcate the new habits that we think we need. So, the important thing is again to know where we ourselves really stand, right? Traditionally, some things are being done, but if they don't work for you, don't worry too much about it, because it is better to do a little bit by understanding it well rather than do it by rote in a mechanical manner, things that you don't know at all. So there is a mantra for Ma Shailputri today, and you could do the jap of that mantra. I will just share it with you. It's Om Reem Shivaya Namaha. You could do this. But if you already have a mantra for the Devi that you have been doing regularly, which can be the Gayatri mantra, or it could be a mantra from the Durga Saptashati, or you could like maybe you could like to do the Lalita Sahasranam chanting today. So whichever you resonate with the most, whichever makes you to a space where you feel more centered, more peaceful, more energized from within, not exhausted, because that is the idea. Fasting is not just about food. Fasting is about, so there are these two extremes in which we can live our lives: suppression or an indulgence, and the whole bandwidth in between. And each person's balance and stature would be unique. For somebody, two chapatis is nothing, and for someone, two chapatis could be too full, can't eat anymore, right? So we cannot decide what is right for whom. Each person has to understand themselves, what it is, what are the changes they wish to bring in their lives, what are the beliefs about bad habits that they need to change, what are their beliefs about good habits that they wish to inculcate, and they will have to form a ritual which will enable them to do that. So fasting and feasting would go hand in hand. For some people, this may be the period when they are able to take a break from their monotonous life and participate in some revelry and go and do garba and meet a lot of friends and go for the puja pandals. For somebody, this may be the period when they withdraw inwards and be with themselves and do their sadhana and do their mantra jap and do their mauna and not eat, you know, eat very little. So, for example, if you say, I am fasting today and I will have a thali from so and so place, they have a special Navratra thali, I shall have that. I'm sorry, that does not count as fasting. That counts as feasting, which is, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if you say, I want to fast because I want to inculcate better eating habits in myself, and then you go and eat that thali, then you're doing something that is counterproductive. So find out from within yourself what it is, where do you think you are, where is it that you wish to go, and then create a ritual. I'm very glad I got a chance to speak to all of you today, because I'm sure now that you've had a slightly different perspective on the subject than the regular perspective, you will look inwards and create for yourself a practice to follow in these Navratras that will help you become a better version of yourself. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong right now, but this unfoldment is eternal. We are all work in progress, and we can all become better versions of ourselves. So whichever aspect in your life, whether it is mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, whichever aspect in your life you want to bring about transformation in, wherever you have goals, set goals for yourself, just do the needful in with awareness. And these 9 days ahead are spectacular days, full of reverberating with energy all around, which is ready to support the transformation that you desire. And this is my prayer and blessing for all of us, that these days may be used to the best of our abilities, in the best of the manner. May we go to greater clarity. As I said in the beginning, Om Astoma Sadgamaya. O Mother Goddess, take us from Asat towards Sat, towards from the unreal towards the real. Tam Soma Jyotirgamaya. Take us from darkness to light, from ignorance to understanding. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Take us from mortality to immortality. I will just end now with a prayer that I end all my sessions with. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnartha Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much.